Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Wes Moore. Glad you're with us. Big night tonight. Got Arkansas Vanderbilt later tonight at Bud Walton Arena. It's a big show for us, too. We've got Kyle Peterson, KP from ESPN and the SEC Network, talking college baseball with us. We'll hit on Dave Van Horn, the Razorbacks, the Little Rock Trojans, and we'll tell you why KP will be in Little Rock later this week. Also coming up tonight, we'll name the More Sports Player of the Week. It's Jacob Lanier out of Parkview High School, and he had a heck of a week. Let's go ahead and get this show started.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's More Sports.
Kyle Peterson joins us tonight on More Sports. Talk a little college baseball. Hey, KP, how are you?
I'm good. It's amazing. Once we get past, I guess last night, once we get past college football, it feels like we're in baseball season, and now we're there.
Yeah, and just in time, we have a big winter storm coming to Arkansas this
Oh,
weekend, and yeah, they're trying to predict how many inches of snow we're going to get. So I thought it would just be fitting to talk some baseball right now with the big storm coming.
yeah, it makes sense. This is one of the rare times in Omaha. I just looked at the map of everybody that's going to get hit, and we're actually not. So I'll hear the horror stories from all my buddies across the country, and I mean, not that 17 degrees is balmy, but at least we're not shoveling driveways.
Yeah, snow and then ice is going to be a big problem across the South too. So it's going to mess up baseball practice for a while. Let's start with the because this is going to be an exciting season, I think, in the state of Arkansas for baseball with the Razorbacks, the Little Rock Trojans building, and I like what they're doing at A State and UAPB for that matter. So let's start with the Razorbacks and Van Horn. And outside looking in, what's the most impressive thing about what he has built at Arkansas?
We've got this text stream, and it's just a few of us kind of college baseball idiots at ESPN. And somebody sent something out the other day that I think they've won at least 18 games in the league in the last 6 or 7 years, which is a crazy number in that league. I don't know this for fact, but I would assume it's accurate that nobody else can say that. So I think consistency, especially given all the changes that happen on a yearly basis right now, it's pretty amazing what Dave's been able to do and his staff's been able to do. I think the other thing is super cool. Now you see Tony taking the Giants job and others that have been there that have gone into head coaching jobs is the coaches that he's surrounded himself with that ultimately have gone on. And obviously, Nate and Hobbs have been there for a while right now, so we'll see. But they're going to get their chance to say no, and I'm sure they already have at many places. But I would just say consistency across the board, consistency as far as what they do on a yearly basis, and then consistency with the guys that Dave surrounds himself with. They're always A-plus guys.
And how do they keep building? I mean, it's just year, and now with the portal, it's year after year of reloading and not necessarily rebuilding like you see some teams, because they got great facilities, great coaches. They win. Is it all just kind of tied together that just creates the year after year after year?
Yeah, I think so. And it's not just the 2 or 3 main guys you look at from a coaching staff. I mean, they're probably 6 or 7 deep as far as guys that most of them played there. Well, a lot of them played there. I wouldn't say most, but so that piece of it is it feels like they don't have to remake the culture. The culture already exists, and they go get guys that are going to be an ongoing part of that. Obviously, I mean, the facilities are as good as anybody in the country, and not just the ballpark, but everything else surrounding it. And the new stuff they just did in right field, the indoor facility that's adjacent to the ballpark, the university commitment, the fan base is through the roof good. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to compete at the absolute highest level and be in an environment like that, I think Arkansas is on a very short list of those that the top guys would take a look at. And then obviously the monetary component comes in too. And I don't know specifics. Honestly, I don't ask. I don't really want to know from all these places exactly what it is. But my assumption is that they're funded to a point that they can do the things that they need to do to compete to that level too. And I think all of that adds to the consistency they've had.
Preseason rankings are out, and Arkansas is in the top 10, and I think every poll that I've seen so far. What do you like about this team?
Well, I don't know that we know yet. I think that's part of it. Is there's a lot of new names and faces. I think Helfrich's a big leaguer for a long time. I mean, I think he's on the short list of the top catchers in the country. Obviously, the little Ahoy Cahillo has got a chance to take a huge jump. I mean, he's not little, so that probably shouldn't be said. But I mean, it's light tower power. It's just whether or not the swing miss goes down a little bit, the consistency, and then you figure out defensively what you want to do with him. But he's going to hit. So that's a pretty good start. Is you got two main guys in the middle, and then they've always found a way to go find other pieces that fit. That's the hardest thing when you look at, like, UCLA is fairly easy to look at this year because they've got so many guys coming back. I mean, it's so many of the same names that we knew last year that come back. For a lot of these other places, it's a bunch of new names, and you're not quite sure exactly where they're going to fit, how they're going to fit, where they're going to hit. And Arkansas, I think, to some extent falls into that, but history would tell you that they're going to find them, and they're going to have a boatload of dudes that throw 98. I mean, there was no staff in the country that had a higher average velocity, and I understand that's not everything. It's not just how hard you throw, but it's a pretty good start. But nobody threw harder than Arkansas last year, and you know that they're going to go find some arms.
In the state of Arkansas, there's so many people, whether it's on the radio show or just watching, that they just want Arkansas to win a national championship for Dave Van Horn.
Yeah.
Is that out there nationally? Is
Yeah.
he one of those guys people kind of root for underneath, kind of privately?
Yeah, they do, and I think some of it is. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. They were talking about interaction with college baseball coaches, and I said, you know what? I guess I would compare it. Not that I know a bunch of hockey coaches, but I think it's somewhat similar to where they're just kind of good dudes, and for the vast majority of them, and this is probably the same way in every sport, but I know it better in baseball. I mean, their first job, they were dragging the field, and they were doing all the stuff that you got to do to be a coach and start. And then you get to a point that they probably didn't really envision at the beginning because the game didn't look like that, to where you're making seven figures and you've got Lord only knows how much Arkansas has put into their facility. But it's things that I don't think you would have looked at 30 years ago as being a potential in college baseball. The cool thing is the vast majority of them are the same guy. And Dave is that guy, to where he's won at different levels. I'm a bit biased just because of the success he had in Nebraska and how that changed that program. And then obviously he goes home and he's been so consistent for the last 20 years. Um, that's why people like him. It's cool that he wins. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when you win, then more people pay attention to you, and that's the way the world works. But the respect component isn't necessarily because he wins. The respect component is the way that he operates and the consistency with which he operates. I love going into town, and we always try to, especially the first time that we go into town, just sit down with both coaches and hang out for an hour. And he's got a cool view right now. It's nice to look out of that ballpark and all the things that have changed. And I think there's a sense of pride and accomplishment there, but there's also a sense of appreciation on his part because of where he did it and how he's done it, and all of those things lend itself to people around the game having a great deal of respect for him. So, and he's been so damn close. I mean, I've been sitting in the booth a few times when they were so damn close, and I think that kind of makes you want it a little bit more for somebody when you know all the things that they've accomplished. And listen, if the guy never wins it, he's still one of the great college baseball coaches that we've seen. But if he does, then I think there's just a big exhale from a lot of people.
Speaking of good dudes, Chris Curry, you're going to get a chance to hang out with Coach Curry and the Little Rock Trojans later this week for their first pitch banquet. And excited to have you in town for that. How about that story last year at Little Rock? I mean, that was pretty cool, man. That to push LSU like that to the last game, that had a lot of people watching the Little Rock Trojans that had never seen them before.
Well, and a lot around the country. And I'm not directly involved in it, but one of the things that we do at ESPN that I think I'm the proudest of, even though I'm not directly affiliated with it, is the squeeze play stuff, or whatever we call it now. I don't know what I think it's squeeze play, but it's basically the college baseball version of Red Zone. And the best time for that is regional weekend because there's so many games. And so those of us that are doing games, well, me, I guess, always have that on a separate screen as I'm doing the game because you want to see what's going on across the country. And it's Runes and Berkey and KB and Schick that carry the water for 4 straight days. And then Little Rock started being more of the story every day. And then you push the Tigers to 7 in their place, and now you're really the story because there's not as many games on a Monday because a lot of them already ended. So now, when everybody's trying to figure out what's going on, now you've only got whatever it is, 4, 5, 6 games going on Monday. And I remember watching that, and I was at Tennessee. I had Tennessee Wake, but it was. I mean, heck, would they have them down in the 4th or 5th? I mean,
Yeah.
it wasn't like they just pushed them to 7. I mean, they pushed them to the brink in that ballpark, and I've been in that ballpark when that fan base starts getting a little bit nervous, but then they got back in it, and when they get back in it, the fan base goes crazy, and it is one of the great college baseball environments in the country. What's cool about it, and I've seen it with other programs, is how much it can elevate not just that year, but it can elevate you moving forward. It elevates interest. Obviously, they got ballpark renovation stuff going on right now. It elevates a community that becomes more interested in the team itself, and then it elevates the way that you can go out and get dudes. Just because they've seen it, they saw it the last week as far as what they put together. So I would assume it's a pretty exciting time in Little Rock right now. The facilities piece is real, and that makes a difference. But I'm looking forward to getting time. I've never been to Little Rock. I've been to Arkansas plenty of times, but I've never been to Little Rock. So I come in town tomorrow night, get a chance to see a few buddies, hang out with the team on Thursday, and then hopefully hang out with a lot of people and you on Thursday night.
What do you get when you get a chance to talk to a team like this? What's your message?
I think the biggest thing is we all get caught up in what could happen, what might happen, pro ball, whatever else. Like, it's the most oversimplified and maybe sometimes overused term, but man, when you're in college athletics, you got to be where your feet are all the time because you don't know what happens next, and appreciate the opportunity to go out and compete against people that are really good at what they do. Because one of the greatest life realizations is whenever somebody tells you that you can't play the game anymore. And we never really know where that's going to come. It could come when you're 10, it could come in high school and college and pro ball, whenever. And there's very, very few people that get the opportunity to leave on their own accords. I'm good. I've done what I need to. It's like the old visual of the wrestler putting their shoes in the middle of the mat and walking off the mat, and that's it. Like, there just aren't too many people in athletics that get to do that. Most of the time, somebody else tells you got to leave. So during that process, it's like, enjoy the stuff that when this thing is over, you're never going to get to do again. You don't get a chance to go hang out in a clubhouse with a bunch of idiots and tell stupid stories and then go out and compete with them and stand arm to arm and side by side with them and get a chance to compete. Like, competing is one of the greatest opportunities in the world. I mean, you can still go play a money game on a golf course or stupid stuff when you get done, but you don't have teammates. You don't have guys that line up and lift at 6 in the morning and do all the same stuff together. And that's kind of my biggest thing with guys at any level is just appreciate where you're at. Like, appreciate the opportunity that you have. And listen, some of you may get a chance to go play pro ball. Some of you may be selling insurance in a year. I don't really know. But ultimately, the opportunity you have right now to compete in Division I college baseball is pretty damn cool. And for that, I think that I look back on my time on it, and I loved it, believe me. But I didn't realize how cool it was until you get done. And I didn't realize how cool it was until I got onto pro ball. And you see what the differences are in pro ball as opposed to just a college environment. That's the gist of it. I mean, I'm sure there's other things, but the biggest thing is like, you're at a really awesome stage in your life, and you're getting to do things that a lot of kids around the country would die to do. So enjoy it. Like, enjoy and work your ass off and do all the things you have to do to compete at the highest level. But at the end of the day, man, enjoy that ride because the music stops at some point. You just don't necessarily know when it is.
It's an awesome stage for them in their playing career, but it's also an awesome stage for Little Rock baseball because if they can build off of what they did last year and stack that on top, I mean, it could be a program changing year for this. I mean, it already was last year, but to build on top of that would be huge this year.
It's massive. And I mean, I heard Chris talking the other day. I don't know if it was with you. I think it may have been with you, but was talking about they went and played Arkansas and Ole Miss in fall ball games. And seeing the difference of their club walking into those environments now, maybe as opposed to what it was before. And it really is sometimes you got to trick yourself into the first steps. And once you take the first steps, you realize that, hey, we can actually do these things, and we can compete with the people that maybe before we weren't quite sure that we could compete with. Well, now they've proven they can on the biggest stage. And that's how you build a program, right? Is you start with some successes that maybe come in spots that you didn't necessarily expect. You wanted them to, but you didn't necessarily expect it. And now it creates greater interest. It creates a greater sense of accomplishment within the team, but it creates confidence. And it's cool to go into a season like that when you've got the confidence rolling off. And I know it's different dudes and different names and everything else, but it all breeds itself. So no, I'm excited. I mean, it really it's a first step to what could be a giant step forward for the program. It already was, but a next giant step forward, because now I love listening to Mike Farron and Duquette on MLB in the mornings, and they were talking today about how hard it is to get to the big leagues, but how hard it is then to stay. Like, it's really hard to get there, but it's harder to stay. And I think that level of success at Division I baseball is somewhat similar, to where it's really hard to get to the point that you got a chance to play to go to a super regional. Now it's damn hard to stay there. It's hard to stay consistent enough that you can be in that position, not on a yearly basis maybe, but enough that you got a real chance. And that's the opportunity that's in front of them, and that's an awesome opportunity.
KP, great stuff. Appreciate you joining us tonight, and look forward to seeing you later this week. And hopefully get a lot of people out here watching. Come on out and join us Thursday night.
I look forward to it, man. It should be a really good day. Look forward to hanging out with you.
Strength isn't built by chance. It's built step by step, choice by choice. At Centennial Bank, we believe it's the everyday actions, done with care, done consistently, that lay the foundation for something greater. That's how we build trust. That's how we build strength. Let us help you create a strong financial game plan. When we work together, we win together. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
It's Gwatney Buick GMC's Forecast Frenzy. A huge sale as nuts as an Arkansas forecast. Tomorrow's blizzard calls for traction. Get huge savings on Sierra and Canyon four-wheel drive. Expect a heat wave the next day. Take the top off and enjoy these pre-owned. Followed by a monsoon. The front-wheel drive Encore will get you there at just $199 a month. It's Forecast Frenzy all month long at Gwatney Buick GMC. We never know what the weather is, but the savings are going to be.
Let's bring in the More Sports Player of the Week. It is Jacob Lanier from Parkview High School. Jacob, welcome in. Congratulations. Great week last week, by the way. That was big time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Averaged 29 points, 12 rebounds in 2 games against Valonia and LRCA. What's that like? Give me that feeling when you're upper 20s, low 30s. You got it going. What's that feeling?
It's a great feeling. I mean, I'm a competitor. I love winning. And I just want to do whatever it takes to win.
This head coach is also with us, Jason Harrison. Coach, what's that feeling for you as a coach when you got a guy going off like that?
It's a lot easier to concentrate on the defensive end when you got a guy who can put the ball in the hole. It lets me concentrate on stopping the other team and making sure we get everyone involved as well.
Coach, what's Jacob like as a player and then as a leader on this team?
Jacob is a competitor. He's a hard worker. Trying to get him to talk a little bit more because he's more of a I'm gonna show you type of guy. And what he sometimes doesn't understand is this: people want to hear his voice, right? But my old man's a great kid, man. Low maintenance kid. Like I said, hard worker. Ever since day one, he's been a yes sir, no sir guy. Comes to work every day, like I just said, and his competitive nature is very infectious throughout the whole program and team. He's came over here and he's exceeded expectation in my book. I expected one thing, but then he gave me a whole another realm of things that I didn't realize he's possessed. And as you can see, the type of year he's having.
Jacob, going to Nebraska.
Yes,
what?
sir.
Tell me about that connection. How'd that all go down?
Late in my AU season, they just popped up. Coming to almost every game, every tournament. We really built a great connection. Me and Coach Pat, Coach Hoiberg, got on the visit, loved everything I saw, and made it hard not to commit. So I mean, they fit my playing style. They fit what I'm all about. Just making just great basketball. It's great basketball up there.
Well, I've always been a fan of Coach Hoiberg's,
Yes, sir.
and I think he's a really good dude too. Did you see this coming? Nebraska blowing up like they are this year?
I could with the pieces they have up there and the coaching staff and the way they play basketball. I mean, they play a beautiful brand of basketball. It's kind of hard not to win games. So I feel like all the pieces just fit together and it just made a beautiful year.
Coach, what's your
18 was crazy.
What do you remember of Hoiberg? Because we're about the same age watching him play through the years.
Man, you always knew Fred Hoiberg was a marksman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He could really shoot it. He was really competitive. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he coached a former teammate of mine, Justin Reed, even though he's passed on. I forgot. I don't know if he was in Minnesota or not. But, man, Fred Hoiberg is a tactician, as we all know that from looking at his coaching realm. Man, just an ultra competitive guy and that really can shoot it. And similar qualities, the guy over here to the side of me, he got some similar qualities. A tactician, someone who can score at all three levels and really, really get to going from the perimeter.
I'm glad you said that. It reminded me we had some highlights thanks to our friends at Fab 44 TV. Yeah, and just to rip it apart, how much, Jacob, do you have to focus on defense playing for Coach Harrison, playing at Parkview?
That's the main focus. That's focus on that every day in practice. I mean, it's not a day that we don't work on defense.
Do you enjoy defense? Do you enjoy defense?
When we're all locked in, when we're all playing hard, when we're all getting stops, it's very enjoyable.
When I'm gonna show that again. That shows his 3-point shooting right there, Coach. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, you don't have to call.
Where you get that shot from?
My dad. We've been working on that shot since I was, I don't know, 5. We've been in this for a long time.
Are you excited about going to Nebraska?
Absolutely. It's not a day where I don't look forward to it.
It can be tough when y'all are playing the same night as a Nebraska game. Do you try to catch as many as you can on TV?
Yes, sir. As many as I can. I mean, because it's always a great game. It's always a joy to watch. Me and my dad be in the living room just studying the game because me and Coach Pat, we're starting to do Zoom meetings. We had one yesterday on just basics of the offense, and we try to see, okay, this is this, and it's just an action out of that. Because Nebraska's offense is just actions, and it can be really hard to scout, and that's why it's working.
Coach, how you feel about the season? How things are going, and how it's looking for Parkview?
Man, I still, I'm very critical of the guys, as they probably tell you anyway. I always see room for improvement. I think we still got a lot more room to grow, rather. I think overall right now, we're where I expected us to be. And honestly, because the work that we put in ever since June hit up until now, I think we're in a good spot right now, but we also have to turn that corner and make a run, because it's not about being good right now. It's about being good when it matters. Because as you know, this is kind of like the NCAA style. You make it to the playoffs, and everybody's record is 0-0, and it's win or go home. And so we have to get in that mindset that every night is a state championship game. And once we get that mindset, I think you'll see a better version than what we are now.
How about the 5A? I mean, with Marion, Farmington, you guys, it's loaded this year.
It's brutal. It's brutal. That's you can go and say it. It's brutal. But I mean, if you're a competitor, from a player standpoint, as a coach standpoint, that's what you want. Iron sharpens iron, and I think that I got one of the best teams in the entire state, and we're gonna lace them up and be ready to go each night we play.
Yeah, I even mentioned Valonia, LRCA, and getting with them getting JJ back. That you can put them in the mix. It is. You're right. It's brutal. Jacob, how you like that? I mean, playing in that kind of a conference, you're and the classification this year being stacked. What's that like as a competitor?
I mean, it's all you can ask for. You don't never want it to be easy, and it's just not worth anything. Came back to win a state championship, put Parkview back on the map. If it's easy, I mean, everybody would be. Shoot, that's just what it would be.
What are y'all gonna do Friday night? Got the snow coming. What's the plan?
The plan is hope to play early, but if we have to reschedule, we just have to reschedule. Man, we just excited we got an off day today. Far as not playing, but for them, you know, it's gonna feel like a game for them later on this afternoon. But no, man, hey, we play Friday. Whenever we play, you best believe we're gonna be prepared to play.
Well, we know you will be. Coach, thank you for your time. And Jacob, thank you for coming on. Congratulations on a great week, and congratulations on being the More Sports Player of the Week. And hopefully, you know, there'll be another opportunity this year to catch up with you and talk about another great week. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We appreciate you. We appreciate your platform.
I want to recognize our newest sponsor, Centennial Bank. Strength, consistency, and a commitment to building trust. That's Centennial Bank. For generations, Arkansans have relied on Centennial Bank for steady guidance, local decision-making, and financial solutions that stand the test of time. From personal banking to business and home loans, Centennial Bank is built on relationships that last. Discover the strength of a bank that believes trust is earned every day. Visit my100bank.com or stop by your local Centennial Bank. Member FDIC. Also want to tell you about A+ Alarm. I've been using these guys for a long time. When it comes to protecting what matters most, I do trust A+ Alarm and Security Services. I've used them for more than 20 years. They installed my alarm and camera system. From residential to commercial security, A+ Alarm delivers reliable protection you can count on. A+ Alarm truly is the key to a peace of mind. Call them at 501-851-7587 or visit aplusalarm.net. Man, can't forget about Gwatney Buick GMC. They've been talking about their new deal in January, the forecast frenzy. Well, turns out it was absolutely perfect with the snow coming our way. They have a lot of four-wheel drives on the lot right now. If you've been thinking about it, getting a new vehicle and thinking, I would like a four-wheel drive, now's the time to act. Head out there tomorrow or Thursday before, or even Friday before the storm gets here, and you'll be ready to roll with that 4x4. You can get the 4x4 Sierra up to 20% off MSRP. They've got a 2026 Canyon 4x4 at just $399 a month. 5700 Landers Road, North Little Rock. Call them at 945-4444. Visit them on their website, GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. Yes, would love a 4x4 right now. A little four-wheel drive vehicle would be absolutely perfect. All right, coming up on the show tomorrow night, we're going to talk a little Arkansas, Vanderbilt, kind of recap that game. Hopefully it's a fun recap, right? And also Chris Turnage. He is an agent, NFL agent, a collegiate agent, and he's got some great stories about the portal. He had several guys that went on official visits and went through the craziness of that portal. And Chris was there every step of the way. And he's going to be on the show tomorrow to talk a little portal, the first year of this 2-week run, and get his thoughts on how it went this season. That's going to do it for tonight. Enjoy the ball game, and hopefully we can see the Razorbacks that we have been seeing at Bud Walton Arena, not the Razorbacks we've been seeing on the road. We'll discuss that tomorrow on More Sports.
All Arkansas, all sports. It's More Sports.